right? The times get shorter. I can't sing it high like that anymore. It's just around the corner in a suicidal dream. You stick for the sign up. Crack your mother's skull. Check out, check out. I've always been kind of a loner. But if you notice, I'm either becoming very internal or something I'm writing about what's around me in the external side. Usually the anger of it, of what I see. But when I internalize, it's more the fantasy of what is good and what's wonderful and what's magical, and then the wizard hat goes on, you know. Because I was always trying to think outside of the general universe about what was in space, and I was really heavy into magic and wizardry and all this stuff, and I had just a vivid imagination, and I was always thinking about space travel and like I said, reading about Greek mythology, and I was just really hungry to do a record, and I'd never done one before, so I booked some time at the studio, and I told them I wanted to do a 45. And the song that I brought in, I actually brought two songs in. I brought Journey to Find Who We Are, and another song I wrote that was never released called To You. And the little guy in the middle was the very first record I ever made. There was only 5 of these made. They used to do them on acetate, but it's like, if you held that up, it's like it's metal, you know. My first time in a studio actually recording and making a record. And I took the thing home and I played it, and I watched the little needle come to the end and then lift up and go back and shut off. And I was so proud of myself. I said, man, now you done something. So if you like, I'd let you hear it right now. Things I recall a long time ago. We were the seekers and tried to reach the star. That's great audio, isn't it? Things have to change, time makes us wait. It's all in a circle. You know, it's a skip. That's what I live for, right there. I know it's hard to be what we are. And one day, when I was about 19, I read an ad in the paper, in the newspaper, that this record company here in Kansas City were looking for studio musicians. And that was Liberty Records, Liberty Recording. And so I thought, well, heck, I'll give it a shot. So I went down there and auditioned for the guys, and they really were impressed with it. They wanted to hire me, so I said, that's fine. So I started doing commercials and different jingles and things like that. And when other artists would come in, I'd play a bass or a guitar, whatever the instrument they needed. But the cool thing about it was they said, if there's nobody else in the studio doing anything, you'll have total access to record whatever you want to. And boy, that was music to my ears. Because I mean, that sort of fell out of the sky. How many guys get, well, here's a studio, just go do what you want to do. And it was a perfect opportunity, and I got a hold of my friend Frank Kateri, because he was a drummer, and I'm a lousy drummer. That's one instrument I just ain't no good at for some reason, but I ain't. Liberty Recording was an interesting place because it was literally built in a cave. And you would drive down this long road going down, and there weren't any lights in there back then. But if you were driving by it, you'd never suspect there was a recording studio in there, because it's just this big hole in the side of the ground there. But it was just huge, and it was just a fascinating place. It really was inspiring, because it just put you in a different state of mind, and you really never knew if it was dark or light. Oh, this is weird. This is so weird. I mean, I used to come in here and it was just sheer, it was just dark. It's total blackness. And you'd have to have your headlights on to see where you were going. Going down into the bowels of hell. But this is where the album was created. Yeah, that's what I mean. They literally, they had a speaker set out in this area and a microphone, and they actually used this live reverb would be mixed in, which is what's on the album. You hear some reverb going on. This is actually what you're hearing on the record. I got my blue shoes on, and I'm down in the cave, looking for the place where it started. Whoa, yeah. Beautiful, just beautiful. Hey! Hello? In the place where lonely eyes stare, time has stopped there for a while. As the wind blows, watch the shadows in a field of lonely eyes. I'm not in voice yet, guys. You're making me work too hard. It ain't even noon yet. What is this? I know I hit a beer or nothing. What's wrong with you guys? Thoughts of the future change my mind as I look across the sky. We got to see. Ooh, there's some heavy lyrics, ooh and ah. See, that's heavy stuff. And I got the entire album actually recorded, but it wasn't mixed. And right at that time, the company had really taken a financial hit because they had invested in this concert they were planning called Boogie in the Grass that fell through, but they lost a lot of money on the thing. And so they said, well, we can't release the thing now because we're just kind of in dire straits financially. So here I am, I'm holding a masters to a tape, but it's not mixed. What am I going to do, right? And I finally got a hold of this guy. He had a record company called Big K Records. His name was Charlie Kellogg. And the neat thing about Big K Records, it's this old white building. It's been there since the 1800s. And it used to be a bank at one time and had actually been robbed twice by Jesse James. And writing songs and playing, and I'd go and I'd still do tracks for other people or commercials or whatever, and just managed to survive and get by, but just by doing that. Like I was saying, I'd be up there middle of the night, couldn't sleep or something, or just get off a gig, and I'd hear some session going on downstairs below me, and I'd go down there and I'd go walking in with a bottle of whiskey and see who was, hey, what you doing, man? Hey, you guys jamming tonight? All kind of musicians in and out of that place, just country rockers, all kind of people. The way I think of it is like there's these gazillion songs and tunes and melodies that are just constantly moving over me. And if I tune in and can catch one or catch this little tune or that little idea, because it's out there in the ether. It's floating around in the ether, but you got to tune your head in to grab it. I wanna be